Hey y'all, welcome back to Hopped Up Beer Review. Today we are drinking Hotter and Hazier from Circle and Square Brewing Company out of Oxford, Mississippi. Thanks for joining us.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you our unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer we are drinking and reviewing. Definitely appreciate you checking out this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and cheers that notification bell. I've got Andy in the attic. I've got Jay. I am Ben. What are we drinking today, gentlemen?
Andrew's favorite, huh? Hotter and Hazier, Circle and Square
A bit
Brewing.
biased.
Yeah, I am.
You'll find out why.
I've been wanting to have this one for a very long time, and
I've been wanting you to have it because I know you're going to like it.
yeah, so I'm really excited about this one. Let's go. Have you had this,
Now,
Ben?
Ben, did you have this one or the Hot and Hazy?
I don't remember, to be honest. I did not look.
I'm going to look.
So, yes, Andy and I spent some time together at the brewery, which is in Andy's current hometown. So which one did I have either one of them?
You did not have the Hotter and Hazy, and you didn't have the Hot and Hazy. You didn't have either of those IPAs.
Right, because they're IPAs. Why would I choose
but there's
that
another
when I have
one.
other options?
Well, there's another IPA on there. And let me see if nope, you didn't have that either.
So you reference it as Andy's hometown, but this would be the town that brought us all together.
This is not this is my current town, not my
hometown. That's a current hometown?
Current hometown.
Goodness.
But this is the reason we're together.
This is true. This is true.
So, it is a sentimental beer.
But I lived here longer than my actual hometown.
Ooh, this is the first one we reviewed from here.
Smells delicious. Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates. Great. Okay. Hotter and Hazier. It's a double hazy IPA at 8.5%. Or a hazy double IPA, however you want to say it. It is tastes of melon and peach with hints of blueberries and tropical flavors, according to them. I haven't after researching it, I hadn't had it again because I get this quite often and bring home the cans. So I have not tried to bring out melon, peach, or blueberries. Tropical flavors such as tangerine, pineapple, passion fruit, and bubblegum. That tropical bubblegum flavor. This is according to their website.
I don't get all those flavors, but we have had some IPAs in the past that I've referenced that have that bubblegum flavor, and I know Abita actually makes one that is a bubblegum flavored IPA. I don't recognize it in this one, but it's interesting. That's a lot to unpack.
Yeah,
from what you listed there.
We could just not think about it so hard to enjoy it.
That's.
But I could definitely get a tropical feel out of it.
Mm-hmm. It has that tropical and that fruit feel to it. So
it's really got. This is the higher ABV version of Hot and Hazy, their hazy IPA. But I secured this for us because I thought it was better. So, Circle and Square Brewing Company, Oxford, Mississippi. As we said, this is my town. I've actually lived here longer than my hometown. It is a microbrewery that first opened in, I, I want to say August, but I think it was like the very first part of September 2023. So it's less than a year old at the time of our review here. The name is based on locations in the city of Oxford, Circle and Square. The Circle being around the central point of the campus of the University of Mississippi, being more affectionately known as Ole Miss. It is an area of a few acres that is these massive oak trees, the big meeting point, and this square is just like a town square with a city or a county courthouse in the center, surrounded by shops and businesses and some, apartments above. And the brewery is exactly a half mile between both the Circle and the Square, and it's pretty cool. In the concrete floor of the brewery, they've got an arrow pointing that they've kind of etched into the floor of the brewery, pointing in each direction of the Circle and the Square. It started when several owners came together and they realized that Oxford, Mississippi, at that time was the only school in the Southeastern Conference, the SEC, without a brewery. And for those who don't know, our town it's pretty much from its inception is based on the university back pre-Civil War time. I mean, it was named after Oxford, England, because of the university. So the owners brought in a brewer from Minneapolis, and yeah, he's been doing some great things. Came down here. They've were very instrumental in working with the university with the athletics and their name, image, and likeness campaign. They call it the Grove Collective. Before they even opened the doors and you could drink beer, they were advertising that at the football games in this past fall in 2023, that they would be selling their beer in the stadium, and that all the proceeds from the beers purchased, the cans purchased in the stadium, would go to supply that Grove Collective for the athletes to pay them. And so it was a great recruiting thing. It was a great business deal. And yeah, they call it Oxford's third place. So you have the Square, you've got the campus, the Circle, and so now we got a nice little place to go. It's a nice little brewery. For a new brewery, they are pumping out some amazing beer. And I am biased, but I know a lot of beer, and it's really good.
Have you met the brewer there, or do you know any of his background from where he?
No, I met a couple people. I don't get to stay very long there. Mi Vida Loca, I go, I might have a beer or two. And I went with our producer, Dwandy, and we got to talk to one of the owners, but he wasn't the brewer. So we got a nice little tour. And
That it, huh?
So
what you got?
Impressive.
I got a T-shirt. So
I said it wrong. Yeah, I got a T-shirt too.
Circle and Square.
There you go. Jay doesn't have a T-shirt.
Drink beer.
Yeah. That's the shirt I wanted, but they didn't have it when I was there in my size.
Well, you can't have mine.
Well, it wouldn't fit me anyway.
What are you saying? You're chunky?
He's just girthier than I.
I mean, I've got the chunk bin.
Wow. All right. So moving along here, as I listen to you talk about the beer in Oxford and the brewery, it made me think: do we have a picture of the three of us from college? Like, is there a picture where all
All in
three
the
of
same
us are
picture?
in one picture that is not like 50 people in the picture?
That's a good question. I did come
Yeah.
across the pictures the other day. I'll have to flip through those and see.
Okay. I'd love to
It is
share that here
funny.
now if we find one between recording this and
It's
releasing
funny
it.
you brought that up because just last night we were showing our daughter some pictures from college. I don't know. I can't remember why we started looking at it. Oh, it's because at one Halloween party dressed up as Kiss, and my daughter just got into listening to Kiss, and I was like, and so y'all were in some separate pictures and from college, and she did not recognize y'all.
I don't know if that's good or bad.
She did not
I
recognize.
had, I mean, I had hair.
She was like, "What?"
Wow.
I had hair and a baby face. I still have
Well,
a baby face
actually,
if I
Ben
get
has
rid of this.
more hair now than he chose to keep in college because you shaved your head so close.
Yes,
Hmm.
yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah, and
anyway,
didn't have the beard.
Anyway, we digress.
if we find it, you know, we'll
All of
have
us
to share
together,
it.
but I can find some pictures, and you can just kind of
Yeah.
mash them together. I don't know, do some
I
photoshopping.
mean, it's just, I mean, surely there's a picture out there of all three of us together, you know, in one picture
I don't think so.
in all of our college days. Okay. Anyway.
Without a bunch of other people in it.
Andy didn't
Well,
like
I'm not saying that there can't be two or three other people, and I'm just saying I know there's a wide shot of like 50 people, you know, or 100 people in one shot. I can think of a picture, you know, from something. Anyway, nobody else cares about that part of it. I was just curious. um, but going back, the other thought I had about Oxford, you know, obviously Jay, you mentioned it's special because that's where all three of us met, along with a lot of our other college friends that we still keep in touch with. It's also my parents are from Oxford area, and my great great grandfather moved from Oxford, England, to Oxford, Mississippi, and is buried in the cemetery there.
Okay.
Came over on a boat in the 1880s, and so yeah, it was.
Specifically to come to Oxford, Mississippi,
I
or
mean,
he's just like, I'm wandering the U.S. Hey, there's another Oxford here.
I don't
All
know
right,
that for sure. All I
I'm
know is
tired of walking.
I think he came. You know, I think he came to Oxford, Mississippi pretty quick. I don't think it was he stopped here and there. It was he came over and he was in Oxford, Mississippi. So
I
That's
can't
really
blame him.
cool. I
It's a
didn't
nice
know
place
that,
to
man.
yeah,
live.
yeah. So
Yeah.
he's buried there with the rest of a lot of my family, where my dad's buried, all in the same little area there in the Oxford Cemetery. So that's all cool information. And I have one of his, again, nobody cares, but I have a desk that he owned. So here in my house, a big roll top desk. Anyway. So with that,
I'm up.
any other
Oh,
Oxford stuff?
he's in the same cemetery as William Faulkner, our
He is.
Oxford
That's correct.
legend.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So he is. So
we should go drinking on his grave like everybody does with William Faulkner's grave.
yeah, yeah. So anyway.
Come on,
All
Ben.
right. Jay, what do you think? You called it. You called your shot.
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh, well, it's a shame that I haven't been to visit the brewery or Oxford in this long, especially since it's been open over close to a year. Um, it's a highly anticipated thing, and Andy has kept us informed about it over the last year. You've managed to get up there a couple of times, Ben. I really need to. Normally, we do that throughout a fun spring weekend and just haven't had the opportunity. So we'll have to look at maybe a football game or two. So it, I was cautiously optimistic going into hearing about them opening. I love the name. I mean, that is just fantastic. Circle and Square. I mean, it couldn't be more appropriate for the brewery in the town of Oxford and Ole Miss. But going in, I was concerned. You know how a lot of these breweries open and they really struggle. They struggle to find their way with their beers, and This one, hands down, Andy, you're right. It's good. It's creamy. It hits those tropical notes. I can't say that I can pull blueberries and melon and all of the fruits out of it, but it has the haziness to it. It's really really good. I'm gonna have to go with a solid 8 for it. I want to push it a lot higher, but it's right there. It's an 8, a great beer. Thank you for sharing it with me, and hopefully we can share some there in the actual brewery one day soon.
All right. That means I'm up since Andy has had this one. I have not. Um, I am right in line with you, Jay, in the sense that it's like a new restaurant. When a new restaurant opens, you never know what you're going to get. You get excited about it. Sometimes you go to it, it's not as good as you expect. Sometimes that's just the new restaurant working things out, or the new brewery, and it takes a little time. I think that having visited the brewery and getting to spend some time with Andy there, and doing I think I did a flight, maybe two, while I was there. I didn't have a beer I didn't like. I definitely like some more than others, as anyone would, but I think they are doing really good beer. And you know what? I mean, yeah, we are biased. I mean, we say that on the show open pretty much every time. But I think that the beer I've had has been really good, and I really like this one as well. Jay, you mentioned the word that I was going to say for this one, creamy. This one is really creamy. You do get all the fruit, and yeah, I'm with you. I can't pull out any specific one, but it definitely has that tropical taste. And for me, this one's an 8.5. I really, really like this beer. Um, Not being the IPA guy, I still really like the hazies, but of the show, of the three of us, the hazies are what I'll definitely lean towards liking. And man, this one's really good.
Let's note that Ben scored a beer higher than I did. That's an IPA.
Like an
That named
IPA,
Stout.
yeah.
Yeah, that only happens when they usually don't taste like IPAs, right?
I
What?
mean,
No,
yeah, I struggle
well,
between an 8.5. This is a great beer.
Yeah, I
no.
really like this one.
Well, I pretty much have already shot my load in the opening, and everybody knows what I think about this. So I can't say enough. Like, it hits everything that you want out of a hazy IPA. That hazy, creamy, very thick mouthfeel, tropical, light, not light. It's not overtly bitter. It doesn't have that lingering bitter aftertaste, and it is refreshing. I could drink this every day, year round. Now, whether it's in outside in the hot weather, I could have. I would split one with somebody. I would have a half of a pint, but then I'd have to move on for something lighter. But it just tastes really good. And I don't know if I'm just biased. It's like I'm excited about my brewery, but it is a really good hazy IPA, double IPA. I've been scoring it an 8.5, and I'm going to continue to score an 8.5. It's great beer.
So I had one question I just thought of. I know that obviously they have draft beer there on site. Have you seen any draft around town
They
that they have?
just so they only sell cans out of the brewery, and with our state and its weird distribution, and you can't the way our state prevents from shipping, or they just started like a month or two ago, um, doing kegs at area restaurants, local restaurants first, and I think they're going into like Tupelo and some other areas in the region pretty soon. So it started only on site and on the Ole Miss campus at the football, basketball, and baseball games. They're selling it at all those, and the only one they're selling it there, they're Kolsch and Full Ride. It's pretty cool. The brewery, some of their beer names are based on athletics and academics, things like that. And so that's their Kolsch called Full Ride is the only one they sell at the sporting events. Now they've and I think that one's the only one right now that they have on kegs at local restaurants.
So that's the only one you could buy at all the sporting events. They don't sell
that's
hot
it.
and hazier or hot and whatever.
No, you can't get the IPAs there. You can only
Just the
get them
Kolsch.
on site. Just the Kolsch. It's great. And then and I don't know why, as many times I've been to the brewery since then, but I always keep trying something different because I go to all the home football games, and the only thing to get is the full ride, the Kolsch, and I get that, and I was thinking I got off work early this week, and I sent y'all a picture of the beers that I was gonna have, and I was like, I just did a flight, and I was like, I need to try this on draft, and truth be told, when I'm at the football games and getting their full ride, I've had a lot of. I've already been in the Grove and doing.
You've already had a bull ride.
Other beers.
You
So my taste buds are kind of shot. I'm just supporting the Grove Collective and the local brewery. So I was like, I want to try this actually on draft, clean palate, and it tastes like a German Kolsch. It's
nice.
It doesn't taste, so much like an American brewery trying to imitate a Kolsch. You get those notes of a Kolsch. Now, it's not full blown on. I will say this: it's not. Oh, I am definitely in Germany drinking this, but it's like, yeah, this is closer to a German style Kolsch than an American brewery trying to make a German Kolsch.
So is that one of the ones that we're going to review in the future?
The next one we're going to review is a pale ale called Gravity Wagon. It is an oated pale ale. And yeah, I could have thrown in some more, but I wanted to get these two because they're my favorite. So
I'm all about it. Yeah. You can add that
really good pale.
The Kolsch to the next shipment that we do.
Yeah, we can do others.
Get on that. That is going to be an 8.3 for the Hotter and Hazier from Circle and Square out of Oxford, Mississippi. Definitely, if you're in Oxford for a ball game, we know you're going to go for the Attic Tour. That's obvious, right? If you're in town for an Attic Tour, ball game, whatever.
Actually in Oxford, yeah.
Exactly. You definitely have to go by Circle and Square and grab some of their beer as well. Andy, maybe we could get like an Attic Tour, like we could get Circle and Square be like the official beer of the Attic Tours.
Well, I've got enough of them down in my garage, garage fridge. So
I'm feeling sponsorship here.
Yeah, you start doing a little tasting or something there as part of the Attic Tour, maybe for an upcharge, right? We'll talk about that off camera. Definitely appreciate you checking out this video. Seriously, if you haven't done an Attic Tour, they're great. Be sure to check us out on all the social media links down below in the description. Somebody live streamed it one time. They came through. They live streamed it. It looked pretty cool.
Must have been sleeping.
They must have. Be sure to like, subscribe, cheers, set notification bell, and also check out our Hopped Up Beer Review Discord server. You can come chat with the three of us and the others who have joined us. You can let us know if you've ever done an Attic Tour. We'd love to hear your feedback. I know Andy's always trying to improve, so definitely come give us some feedback on that. With that, lastly, if you have any interest in any Hopped Up Beer Review merch that Jay is trying to push right now, it's down there in the link below. Go grab something. For Andy in the attic and Jay, I am Ben. Cheers, mates.
Cheers,
mates.
And hotty toddy.
Go Rebs.
Go Rebs.